lasted till midnight last year, remember, sir?
Still not bad for his age.
Yeah.
Careful. Easy now, fellows, easy. Get him in there.
Ibrahim, Tusker साहब को लूसी मैम साहब के पास जल्दी ले।
Yes, sir.
He's a jolly good fellow. He's a jolly good fellow. For he's a jolly good fellow. So say all of us.
क्या बात है यार आज जल्दी पीकर जल्दी है आज क्या ख्याल है
इधर इधर सीधा 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 चलो चलो देखो 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 ध्यान से चलो ठीक है चलो शाबाश एक से चलो चलो उधर उधर बिल्कुल The parakana at the mess was grand, ma'am, sir. Chalo, chalo, lao.
Must you shame us like this every year?
Oh, balls, Lucy. Don't you know India yet?
Tusker? Tusker? You all right?
ये देख क्या कर रहा था साहब बलाथन कंटिन्यू कर रहा था I'm coming, ma'am साहब.
Oh, Ibrahim, hurry, please. It's the Saab. What is it, Ibrahim?
Blanket, ma'am साहब.
I called Dr. Mitra. It was the first thing I did.
Oh, come on, sir. Oh, no. Ibrahim will look after you, sir. Come, sir. मैम साहब बहुत ज्यादा परेशान है, सुबह से साहब को ना होश आने को।
Oh, Dr. Mitra.
Good morning, Mrs. Smalley. Well, Colonel Smalley, old boy. Not feeling too good, eh?
बड़ी गड़बड़ हो गई। साहब को दिल का दौरा पड़ा, धक 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 धक। कर्नल स्मॉली हार्ट ट्रबल।
I'm afraid it's going to be a long haul.
Thank you. But he will be...
The rest, that's the main thing. And no booze.
So the old man is not dying after all.
No, मेम साहब। फिर आज ओकर तबीयत बहुत खराब है मेम साहब।
Pity. It is Colonel Smalley who is giving me my migraine, doctor. Oh, I'm sure of it. Tenants are always so much trouble. Always one little thing after another. As bad as servants. Old Marley, the gardener, was a lazy devil and a crook. Always working in Colonel Smalley's garden and not mine. But I caught him. Selling produce from the kitchen garden in the bazaar, so we have none and have to buy it back again.
Please, Mrs. Bhoolabhoy, ये क्या है भाई? आप हिलता नहीं है ना? हिलो मत. You must not move.
We are having a new policy at Smith's Hotel, Doctor. Retrenchment. First was getting rid of that old Marley, and second is getting rid of those Smalleys.
What the hell's happened to the garden? Hasn't old Marley been?
I really don't know, Tusker. I've been so busy with...
Ibrahim!
साहब?
Has that son of a Marley been today?
No, साहब.
Or yesterday?
No, साहब.
Or for the last 10 days?
No, साहब.
The garden looks all right to me, Tusker. Ibrahim's making you some nice broth.
Of course it's not all right. I only have to be ill for a few days for the place to look like a jungle.
Don't exaggerate, Tusker.
It's that bloody Bhoolabhoy woman's fault up there. Just wait till Billy Boy gets back from Ranpur. I'll have her guts for garters.
I expect the Marley's been ill, that's all.
Not the point. Not the point. It's that woman's job to see that my grass is cut and my flowers are watered every day. Every day of the bloody year. It's in the lease. Bring me the bloody box.
Nice broth first, bloody box later, but not today. Now, if we drink up all our nice broth and then have a good sleep this afternoon, who knows? We might have a nice arrowroot biscuit for tea, eh?
No arrowroot, ma'am साहब. Only get it.
Oh. Well, then a nice digestive, Tusker dear.
It appalls me.
What does?
A woman of nearly 70, talking like a child of 7. Wonder what's keeping Billy Boy so long. Eureka!
साहब साहब wants?
Wants nothing, has found. Where's Mem Saab?
Gone for prescription.
Well, now we'll see. Won't we just see? I'll shoo that fat bitch Bhoolabhoy from arsehole to Christmas.
Waste not, want not.
Oh, bloody hell.
साहब मेम साहब oh मेम साहब Colonel साहब not well.
Did we waken us from our little nap?
We were not having our little nap. We were plotting our little plots and planning our little plans.
Plans for what, Tusker dear?
Murder.
And who is to be the unhappy victim? I can't read that, dear. I haven't got my spectacles.
Dear Colonel Smalley, Mr. Bhoolabhoy has explained your objection to proposed rent increase. Agreed, therefore, to renew tenancy of lodge on same terms and conditions as stated in Clause 2, current agreement. Now otherwise expiring June 30th. Signed, Mrs. Bhoolabhoy Prop.
But you were pleased at the time.
You were supposed to have checked this letter. Two heads are better than one, you're always saying.
I don't know what you're talking about, Tusker.
It means that we no longer have the service of the Marley. We're going to have to hire our own Marley to cut the sodding grass. Only we're not hiring one except over my dead body.
But the grass is Mrs. Bhoolabhoy's responsibility. It says so in the lease.
We haven't had a lease since last July. We've only had this conning bloody letter.
What the Saab is saying, Mem Saab, I think, is that proprietor's letter last year, renewing tenancy until June 30th next, referred only to renewal of terms and conditions as stated in Clause 2. All other clauses not being renewed. For example, perhaps proprietor's responsibility for upkeep of garden, isn't it?
Oh, Ibrahim, how quick you are.
Too bloody quick by half. So you can go. Get out. Bloody crook.
What have I done, Saab?
You've been disloyal. You didn't see the position like that in a split second. You've known about it all along.
What the Saab says, the Saab says. But what the Saab says is not in accordance with facts.
Get out. Sod off. Go on, bugger off.
Oh, Tusker. How could you treat poor Ibrahim so unkindly after the way he slaved for us while you were poor?
He's listening, you bloody fool.
He never listens. He's got too much pride. If you had any pride, you'd write to Mrs. Bhoolabhoy and ask her intentions with regard to the state of the garden.
No, never. Have her draw my attention to the letter. Make me look a perfect fool for not spotting her chicanery last July.
Well, then forget about it till Billy Boy comes home.
Fat lot of good that little henpecked man can do, if the bitch has made up her mind.
Leela, my love, I'm home. Your Frankie's home. Leela, my love, are you awake? Your Frankie's home.
Frankie. Later, Frankie, later.
Tusker.
Hello, Colonel.
Billy boy, when did you get back?
This afternoon. And, I've brought these for Mrs. Smalley.
Oh, you shouldn't, Mr. Bhoolabhoy. Every time you come back, you bring me a present.
It's nothing, really. It's for all the happy evenings I spent here with the Colonel.
Had a gay old time in jolly Rampur, did you?
Hey, yes, not bad. Not too bad,
Come
really.
on, have a drink. Ibrahim!
I hear you've not been too well, Colonel.
Oh, no, nothing serious. I'm fine now. Ibrahim, bring out the gin and lime.
Now, Tusker, sir. Bugger off, Billy boy. Bang, bang, bang.
And some biscuits, please, Ibrahim.
Coming, Linda. Well, now, tell us all about it. You stayed at the Rampur Shiraz, didn't you?
Yes, I did, as a matter of fact.
What was it like?
Well, you know what these new hotels are like. Concrete slabs, concrete blocks. No charm, no personal service. Not like Smith's in the old days. Thank you. Pankot station, 8 in the morning. The staff waiting for the new arrivals. Everybody hungry for breakfast, and then into the Tongas and up to Smith's in double quick time, with the luggage following. Trunks, cases, and ladies' little boxes.
Oh, hat boxes. Thank you.
You know, these Shiraz hotels are all the same. Only after your money.
What about the Go-Go Inn? Did you go in?
They're very good. That's very good. Very good indeed. Go in. Well, you see, yes, I did glance in once in a while to see what it was like.
And what was it like?
Not in front of Mrs. Smalley. Well, time for Betty buys, Colonel.
Oh.
Hey. Mrs. Smalley. Thank you. Well, no problems then while I've been away.
No. Just a ticker.
Oh, that's good. Good night, Mrs. Smalley. Thank you, Colonel, again.
Good night, old chap.
Good.
Tusker, why on earth didn't you say anything? Ibrahim. We're going to bed. Tusker. Tusker, what are you doing? What is the matter? You mustn't be upset. What does it matter about a little bit of grass? A silly, silly Tusker. Who cares if it's cut or not, so long as it's not cut for both of us? So long as we're together.
Lucy! Lucy! Lucy!
We are people in shadow, Ibrahim. May I confide in you?
Oh, absolutely, ma'am.
When a man who's been active all his life suddenly becomes inactive, I need a young man. A boy would do. Do you know of one?
Ma'am, sir?
Well, I would pay him reasonably, or rather, I would pay you for procuring him, and you would pay him for me. The Sahib must not know of this arrangement.
What sort of boy, ma'am, sir?
Oh, any sort will do, so long as he's strong and willing and not too expensive. If necessary, he could live here so as to be on hand when needed. But there is a snag. There's the question of tools. Mr. Bhoolabhoy may have to be a party to this arrangement and lend his. In fact, the boy must appear to be Mr. Bhoolabhoy's boy. And this, please, is just to be an interim arrangement until the Sahib is himself again and I can confess everything. Surely, between us, we could find such a boy.
I think so, ma'am, sir.
I mean, he could be of use to you, too, in odd ways. But chiefly to me. I want a boy who can mow the lawn and water the flowers.
Yes, yes, ma'am, sir.
Oh, what a tangled web we weave when first we practice to deceive. I find these little plots and plans quite foreign to my nature. But it can't be helped. Dr. Mitra says the Colonel Saab must not get excited.
Oh, yes, ma'am, sir. But when Colonel Saab red in the face, it is very good for circulation.
I'm afraid Dr. Mitra says not. I don't want to lose my husband, Ibrahim.
No, ma'am, sir.
His name is Joseph. He's a Christian. He says a little prayer for the soul of the departed. And he reads the names so that God will hear them properly and the souls will not get mixed up. Joseph, come. There is a prospect.
Oh, that ball's for starters.
Ibrahim!
Coming, ma'am, sir.
Wages. About the lawn, Ibrahim. Bala Saab hasn't said anything, but I think he's very pleased. He's looking much better. For the garden.
Yes, ma'am, sir.
And tonight, I shall go to the pictures. Please book my seat for the second show.
Yes, ma'am, sir. Repeat showing. Butch Cassidy, Sundance Kid, Robert Redford, Paul Newman.
Oh, yes, of course. We saw it last year, didn't we? Such good actors. Try and get my usual seat, please.
Yes, ma'am, sir.
Thank you.
Jiving, it loves me. Coffee and tea and the java and me.
राम भरोसे ओ भाई ठीक हो बच्चे ठीक है विलायती चिट्ठी है
Oh.
Dark, ma'am, sir.
Oh.
What a shower.
What is this bugger off, Ibrahim?
Oh, these are very old English phrases meaning go, bhago. Likewise, piss off. But these are sacred phrases never to be used by you or me when speaking of them. Samjhe? So, I bugger off. Yeah. But next morning, there is no tea to wake them up. No porridge for a cold winter morning. So presently, Saab comes to me. What are you doing? He says. Waiting for pay, I say, Saab. Why should I pay you when you're not doing your bloody work? So then I know I am reinstated. Samjhe?
What happens if you are pushed by Saab?
Not pushed, given push, given push. Get idiom right.
What happens if you are given push? Who then makes the porridge?
No, not you, Joseph Bete. If I'm sacked, you also are sacked. You are not Smalley Saab's boy. You are my boy. You are Ibrahim's boy. Samjhe?
बॉय बॉय नकटा गदर तुला लाज नहीं है आते कुमार में ते बॉय खो जातस
का बकबक करतस नॉनसेंस
नॉनसेंस अभिस ते नहीं कहेस यू आर माय बॉय तेला सब संसार सुनी
का चाहे सारा संसार हो गए हैं शायद मैं तो कुछ नहीं कहे हूं हैं टेक नो नोटिस ऑफ हर हैं बगर ऑफ
A letter from Sarah Layton. We're going to have a visitor.
Oh, no. No more visitors. Not after that woman from Texas called you honey.
No. This is an Englishman. Mr. Turner. He wants to meet people like us who stayed on. He's interested in everything about the old India.
Another young layabout, you mean? Swanning round the world at the taxpayers' expense. We ought to write to cooks. Have them put us on their tourist itinerary. After the Taj Mahal and the beach temple at Mahabalipuram, see the Smalleys of Pankot. I can put on my pith helmet, you can play mahjong. Ibrahim can collect the money at the door and guard the bloody shoes.
We have to see him for old time's sake.
No, we don't. We're not monuments yet, Luce. Mr. Turner can sod off.
It'd be nice to have someone to talk to.
What's the drill for lunch?
Has your walk made you hungry?
Don't want broth, sick of bloody broth. Let's go to the Shiraz.
But it's so expensive.
Bugger the expense. Put on your glad rags. We lay a table in the window, waiter. Good to get away from that bloody din. All right, Luce. What are you going to have?
Oh. Well, I think the soup of the day, don't you?
Not unless you want to kill me off for good. Stop looking at the table, Doty. Let's go for the a la carte. Shh. In for a penny, in for a pound. Have what you like, Luce. And don't look at the rupees.
I'll have what you have, Tusker. But honestly, I'm not very hungry. And remember what Dr. Mitra said. Please be circumspect.
Bugger, Dr. Mitra.
Come back in 5 minutes.
Right. We'll start with the prawns, shall we?
He's a very nice young man and wants to know everything you can tell him about India. Well, Mr. Turner, India is sun. Sun. And women need sun, or a sun. And Tusker, there was a son of that kind when I first knew him.
Hello, man. Thank God for Saturday nights.
No ladies, eh, Colonel?
You know, Mr. Turner, Tusker's behavior was impeccable in those days. Not flamboyant. No swearing. Very image of reliability. That was before he had what I call his personality change.
Dear Mrs. Smalley. She loves the flicks, doesn't she?
Oh, any old rubbish.
Now, Tusker and I do not truly communicate anymore. It's as if we lived separate lives under the same roof.
But of course, Lucy was happier when we were posted to Mudpore. A bloody great bungalow in the grounds of the palace. The use of one of the daimlers with a liveried chauffeur.
Those were the days.
I was administrative advisor to the commander of the state forces of Mudpore. Some such bloody title. Never regimentally employed again, thank God. The colonel was furious because I'd married without his approval. Approval? Great Scott, I was pushing 30. And Lucy didn't help matters by telling the colonel's lady she'd been a typist.
Oh, my God.
It was lovely in Mudpore, Mr. Turner. I wanted never, never to leave it, but we did leave. And then we decided to stay on.
Why do they say India has a hot climate?
Thank you.
What was I talking about?
Oh, about the job, I think.
Yes. I always deliberately tried to keep what nowadays is known as a low profile. I wanted to be thought dull and thoroughly reliable at the desk work, which officers usually affected to despise. Sorting out everybody's balls-ups. When they sent me up here to area headquarters, I took one look at the place and thought, nice scenery, good climate, this is the place. I'm going to dig in for the duration.
Pankot at night, Mr. Turner. You should have been in Delhi for independence. That's when it happened. When the sun came out for the final time. Only it was midnight.
The secret is, make the job look more complicated than it is. Nothing too enthusiastic. Oh, God, no. Enthusiasm's just about the most bloody ruinous thing I can think of. I say, this new cleric of yours at St. John's, I hope he's not an enthusiast.
The cleric? No. He's an Anglo-Catholic.
Oh?
From South India, you know?
Mm.
Black as my hat. Called himself Father Sebastian.
Oh, God. Well, let's kill the bottle.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Mem Sahib? Sanma, Mem Sahib?
Oh, thank you, Ibrahim. I really should assemble these properly in an album, Mr. Turner. Now, let me see. Ah! Oh, yes, here we are. Mudpore. Now, there's the palace. And there are the elephants. That's my husband. Oh, yes, we had elephants, Mr. Turner. Oh, yes, that's a beach party. We had one. Ah!
Lucy!
As I was saying, Mr. Turner.
Lucy!
Coming!
last person buried at St. John's?
Edgar Maybrick.
You see, he couldn't even get that right. Maybrick says here that it was old Mabel Layton.
But Tusker, dear, I think Maybrick was buried after he'd written his little book.
Well, for God's sake, I'm not such a bloody fool as not to realize that.
Then what is your problem, Tusker?
It's not my problem, it's Maybrick's problem, not mine.
And have you brought me out here just to tell me that? Really, Tusker, sometimes your deliberate obfuscation.
What?
Obfuscation. It's a word currently popular among critics of government. You obfuscate, you stupefy, you bewilder me. I don't know where or what I am when I'm talking to you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You know perfectly well. It would have been highly macabre of Edgar Maybrick to say he was the last person buried at St. John's, even though he was and always will be, because there's no more room.
Yes, there is. There's a nice little space in the southwest corner. Enough for two if they dig deep enough.
Tusker, will you listen to me?
Well?
I have no friends. All our friends are your friends, not mine. And, yes, I will say it, they are all black. If you had not recovered from your attack, do you realize that I should have been alone here, alone, and having to rely on people who truly do not care for me?
You're pissed, Luce.
I am not, as you so crudely put it, pissed. I shall not raise the matter again, and I do not wish to discuss it further. But I should be grateful if you would be so kind as to make it plain the position I should be in were you to have another attack and not survive. And instead of making absurd notes about Mr. Maybrick's inoffensive little book, you would make plain the financial position I should be in were I to find myself here alone and weeping amid the alien corn.
ओ प्रभु कब से ये साफ हुए?
सॉरी मैनेजर साहब साफ कर
साफ कीजिए ना.
हाँ जी.
हेलो मैनेजर साहब, सारा काम हो गया. We have made very good progress.
Have you?
Oh, Frankie. Pour me a drink, Frankie, darling. I'm dying of thirst. With all this question, answer, checking, accountants, and have one yourself too. So much rigmarole with wheretofores and as before saids. Oof, oh, I feel worn to a shadow. Cheers.
Cheers.
I'm exhausted. Oh, but it's all settled now. Signed and witnessed.
What does that mean, Leela, my love? Settled, signed, and witnessed.
It means, Frankie, that at last I'm going to make some real money. Come, tell me that you love me. What is money if one is not loved?
Oh, Leela, my love.
Frankie. Later, Frankie, later.
Leela, how are you going to make this real money?
Shh. It is a secret. No one must know. But I shall tell you, Frankie. I am buying into the Shiraz consortium.
And how does one buy into a consortium?
Buy, sell. I have the sight, the view. With this, they share with me the Shiraz, the Palace of Madhpur, yes, the Go-Go, and more.
Have you sold the hotel?
We shall be rich, Frankie. We shall go to Bombay, Delhi, Madras, Calcutta, London, Paris, New York.
But I don't want to go to all these places, Leela, my love.
No?
No. I want to stay here in Pankot. I only want to manage this hotel. An improvement here, an improvement there. Decorators. New curtains. Cutlery. Pakka fittings for the bathrooms. Modest ones.
The hotel is nothing. Only the site is worth anything.
The site? What of the goodwill? Single-handed I've maintained the goodwill. And now you don't even consult me, your own husband.
Goodwill. Goodwill. Sometimes you are a fool, but the crooks, we must make them pay for goodwill. Go and fetch Pandey.
But Leela, what of the lodge? People are living there. The Smalleys, my friends, are living there.
Here also is one person living, surrounded by fools and by crooks. Get Pandey!
You go and fetch him yourself. You're in better voice than I am.
And you will pay for this, Frank Bhoolabhoy.
Dear Jesus, give me strength.
Happy Holi to you too. Hello, Cuckoo. Where's the bar? Over there it always is. Hello. Beautiful sari. Happy Holi. Hello, Manojana. Happy Holi to you.
Hello, Auntie. Where's Nikki?
Nikki is right over there waiting for you. Hello. Happy Holi to you too. Hello, welcome, welcome.
What the hell are you doing in that suit? It's holy.
Excuse me, Tusker. Could I have a word?
So wonderful. You know, Tiny, I think your cherry tree is better than ever this year.
You think so?
And guess what? There was a massacre.
I got the deal. You know the right people. You in with me?
And how are you enjoying the party?
कुकू आपके पार्टियां तो बहुत ही मजेदार होती हैं।
देख तो
बहुत दिन से आपने
मुजरा और यहाँ पर
That's where the action is. No, 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 no. That's the way to do it. You can do better than that. Come on, chuck the stuff. Go on. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, no, no.
Well, he's all right again, Mrs. Smalley.
So it seems.
Cuckoo!
मर गए।
Lucy! Lucy!
Get back, please. Back, get back.
You must tell me the truth, Dr. Mitra. Was it another attack?
I think he just knocked himself out, that's all.
But he'll be all right.
I have left him with you. He likes his own home. I'll look in every day.
Tusker, where are you going?
I'm going to church. Damn it, it's Easter. Have to go to church at Easter. Coming?
All things wise and wonderful, the Lord God made them all.
Each little flower that opens, each little bird that sings.
Bye-bye.
Don't come often. Thought I would today. Next time might not be able to have a word.
Oh, there is always time for a word, Colonel.
Not in the circumstances I'm thinking of. Are you coming up next weekend by any chance?
No, next weekend I'm at Nansera, I'm afraid.
Father Sebastian can't minister to us until Sunday the 23rd.
That is right.
Come on over then and have a bite. If you can't manage Sunday, stay till Monday. Have lunch.
I'm committed for lunch, Colonel.
Well, have dinner then. We're at the lodge at Smith's Hotel.
Whenever is convenient to you, Father Sebastian.
All right, Miss Smalley. Thank you. Thank you very much.
And bring Susie with you.
Oh, Mrs. Smalley, that is kind.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Have you gone completely off your rocker?
I don't care. I've known her since she was a child.
But an Anglo-Indian for dinner, Lucy.
Well, who else can we ask, Tusker? I don't know any of the other Christians.
But she does your hair.
Well, what on earth made you go on pestering Father Sebastian like that? You went on and on, Tusker. He didn't want to come. And suddenly he started thinking, this man needs me.
Well, I do, don't I? There you are, you see, I told you. There's still room for us.
All I said was that goodwill should be taken into consideration. And now you're blaming me. It is not I who is to blame, it is your greed. That is to blame.
I am to blame?
Yes.
You are to blame. Goodwill, you and your goodwill. And what is the result? Not better terms, worse terms.
Why do you push me? You're always pushing me and humiliating me in front of the servants. Me, management.
Push? I give you notice. 1 month's notice.
For all I care, in a month or two, there'll be nothing to manage.
But you are still management, and I am ownership. And ownership says that you will write that letter to the Smalley man, telling him that tenancy ends as of July 1st.
And where will they go?
They can always move into the Shiraz.
The Shiraz? Can they afford the Shiraz?
What they can afford and not afford is no concern of mine. When they ruled the roosts, our concerns did not enter their heads. It is tit for tat.
I will not write such a letter to my old friend.
I am ordering management. It is what he is paid to do.
Not enough. I have not had a single raise since I married ownership.
No?
No.
You get your keep, you get your pocket money, and sometimes on top of that you even get sex. Don't think I don't know what's going on. The go-going. But I'm a reasonable woman, and I say to myself, what can one expect when one is married to a man who thinks of nothing but sex? I think management will write that letter, unless he wants a divorce.
Welcome to another issue of Culture and the Arts.
Yes. Who?
The grace of our Lord Jesus Christ and the love of God and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with us now and evermore. Amen.
I said she's out! Out! Mrs. Smalley! What's your name? Turner? Oh, Turner, yes. What's your number? Ramper? Yes. 3, 4, 1, 0. Thank you. Goodbye.
Some time ago.
Come on, Blotto. Service!
Tusker, dear? Have you been for your little constitutional? How about a drink, because it's Sunday, a very small gin?
Why? Because it's Sunday.
Because Sunday's chicken pulao day at Smith's. And chicken pulao goes down very nicely after a spot of gin.
I'm not having pulao, nor are you. We're having poached eggs on toast and we're cooking them here.
I see. Well, you can have poached eggs if you must, but I'm going across to Smith's.
Not today, you won't. Neither of us is ever going there again.
Why not?
Because I say so.
I did not stay on in India to become a cook in my old age.
Didn't you?
If we had gone home, I would have welcomed turning my hand to whatever was necessary, but we did not go home because you didn't want to go home. All the same, I accept that as mistress of the house, it is my duty to see the master fed. So I'll go indoors and prepare your poached egg. And after that, I shall have chicken pulao at Smith's. Will scrambled eggs do? I am not cleaning this.
Neither am I.
Quite. So you see the difficulty of not eating at Smith's.
I see more than you know.
I suppose you remember you've invited Father Sebastian to dinner tomorrow night. So where do we feed him? The Shiraz? And if you say ha, or start obfuscating again, I shall throw this dirty pan right at you.
Then throw it.
I shall if you say ha.
Ha! Ha!
I didn't tell you any more about Mr. Turner because you said you didn't want to see him. What did he say?
He told me he'd got the Belle Madame special blue rinse you asked for.
Oh, how nice. Susie Williams will be able to use the rest of my very last packet. I hope you agree that we must give some time to him and see that he's fed and so on. Now, if he's staying at Smith's, and we're never to eat there, Tusker, won't you think it very odd if he's eating alone in the dining room at Smith's and we exist here on a diet of poached eggs?
Where are you going?
I'm going to have my lunch. Perhaps later on you will tell me if you can afford to feed Mr. Turner elsewhere. I have no idea how near or far we are from bankruptcy. Moreover, I have still not had the plain statement I asked for with regard to the position I should be in were I to find myself alone.
Ah, Mrs. Smalley.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
I'm alone, but I have the usual.
Yes, ma'am.
Prabhu,
Yes, ma'am.
this glass is all covered with smear.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I'll get it.
Oh, Mrs. Bhoolabhoy, we're expecting a guest on Wednesday, Mr. Turner. I wonder if you'll book a room for him.
I've already told Colonel Smalley I can't be bothered with that.
Colonel Smalley?
Yes, yes. He asked me to reserve a room for your guest. I've told him to see management about it tomorrow.
The Colonel was here this morning.
Didn't I just say so? Listen, Mrs. Smalley. All I want to know is about the shears. Have you dealt with the question of the shears?
Shears?
Shears. Yes, shears. Snick, snick shears. This morning I was telling my Marley to trim the flower beds. He says he has no shears because your Marley is using them.
I know nothing about your shears, Mrs. Bhoolabhoy.
You know nothing about my shears? Colonel Smalley knows nothing about my shears. Colonel Smalley is even telling me he knows nothing about a Marley because he does not have a Marley. Only I have a Marley. Dear God, am I crazy or is everybody else crazy?
Ah, no talk of business for now. We're going to have a lovely lunch and then you give me my...
Oh, Tusker, Tusker. First the Marley, and then Mr. Turner. No wonder it was poached eggs. Oh, Ibrahim, about tomorrow. We suddenly have to conjure up dinner for 4.
Dinner, ma'am, sir?
We'd better have chicken.
Oh, chicken. Very difficult, ma'am, sir. Our stove only good enough for burnt offering. Ma'am, sir, it is forbidden.
God will forgive us. Cheers.
Cheers, ma'am, sir.
I am beholden to you, Ibrahim, for looking after us. What about a savory? Cheese on toast?
Oh, no, not cheese on toast, ma'am, sir. Anchovies on toast best. Eggs not very good. Much wind resulting.
That's very good advice. And tomorrow, I shall give you a list of things to buy.
Ibrahim.
Sir, was Mem Sahib asleep?
Tell her I'm dining at the club tonight.
Yes, sir.
Dearest Lucy, I'm sorry, Lucy, if I seem to have made a mess of things. But you'll be all right. You'll have the pension and the Royal Warrant supplement, say $1,500 a year, adjustable from time to time to the cost of living index. And there'll be a bit from my insurance. You'll have enough to take you home if that's what you want. Though in your position, I'd prefer you to stay here.
Ah, Tusker. Thank God somebody's here. Care to join me for a game of billiards?
Why not? I know for years you've thought I was a damn fool to have stayed on, but I was too young to retire when independence came, and too old to start afresh somewhere that I didn't know. And I knew the pension would go further in India than England. I still think we were right to stay on. Though I don't think of it any longer as staying on, but just as hanging on. Which people of our age and upbringing and limited talents, people who've never really been poor but never had any real money, they have to do when they can't work anymore. And it seemed to me I'd invested in India, not money nor talent, nothing India needed or needs, or has been one jot the better for. But all I had to invest in anything, me. Good shot. Where I went wrong was expecting a return on my investment. Me. Anticipating profits. When they didn't turn up, I knew I was an idiot. Longest male menopause in history. Can't talk about these things face to face, you know. Brought up that way. You've been a good woman to me, Luce. Sorry I've not made it clear, I think so. Not going to read all this rigmarole through. If I did, I'd tear it up. Don't want to discuss it. If you do, I'll only say something that will hurt you. It's become my nature. Love, Tusker.
Good morning, Ramsey.
Not my dear Colonel Smalley. Dear Colonel Smalley is quite sufficient. What is all this sentimentality? All you need say is, hotel and annex, currently subject to planning development under new company ownership, and notice is hereby given as from July the 1st next. And yours faithfully, not yours very sincerely,
Yes, Leela, my love.
Retype it, and I will sign it.
Well, Bloxall, you haven't moved for 2 days.
Good morning, sir.
Where's Mem, sir?
Gone to hairdressers. I have everything Saab needs. Tea, roti, marmalade, 4-minute egg, Times of India.
Duck?
Oh, no duck this morning, sir.
Not even a bill?
No, sir.
Never did enjoy breakfast without duck. Go and write me a letter, you lazy sod.
Yes, sir.
Oh, and better still, take the dog for walkies. Do you both good.
I will do so, sir. But first, I have all this shopping for me, sir.
Oh, forget all about that. Just take the dog for a walk. Bus.
That's better. Minnie? Colonel Smalley.
No. Please let me take it, Leela. The Colonel's my friend after all.
Colonel Smalley, jaldi. And you, Francis, can massage the back of my neck.
Yes, Leela, my love.
Sahab, duck.
Bitch! The bloody...
I'll comb you out fast. Thank you.
Colonel Smalley? Colonel Smalley! Ah! Colonel Smalley? Colonel Smalley? Operator, Dr. Mitra कहाँ है? हैं? Leela, my love. He's dead.
Who is dead?
Colonel Smalley is...
Where is the letter?
In his hand.
Get it.
Get it?
The letter, you fool. They will think it killed him.
Yes, they will. They will call you a murderess. And they will be right.
Oh, Dr. Mitra. Oh, thank goodness. My husband, he just panics. He thought he was dead, but he has only fainted and needs your help now.
I'm afraid he's dead. Of course, this letter.
It was the shock of the letter you wrote that killed him. I blame you. To write such a letter to a friend, God will punish you.
Sashies.
I'll do that. I've just had some bad news about Mrs. Smalley. She made me a cup of coffee with Mrs. Smalley. I'll finish you off today, Mrs. Smalley. You go get Mrs. Smalley another cup of coffee. There's beer.
Coffee's for Mrs. Smalley. What? There's a telephone call. Her husband just died.
What beautiful hair you have, Mrs. Smalley. You must think of something a little different to do with it.
Oh, thank you. I'm afraid I'm rather old to change.
Never too old. When we're finished, Susie will take you home.
Home? Oh, thank you. There was the letter, of course. Must have been a terrible shock. Dr. Mitra didn't want me to see it. I knew I had to.
But don't worry about the letter. As long as I have a roof over my head, Mrs. Smalley, you always have a home with me. People like us must stick together. Do you want me to stay?
Oh, no, thank you very much. It's very kind of you, but Ibrahim and Minnie are here. I feel quite safe with them.
Then I'll drop by tomorrow, Mrs. Smalley. Good night.
When we went to parties, just before we went in, you always held my arm. You helped me out of tongas and rickshaws. And when we waited on other people's verandas for tongas and rickshaws, then too you held my arm. And that's how we waited, arm in arm. Arm in arm. Throne by throne. What now, Tusker? Urn by urn. It's all right, Tusker. I'm not really going to cry. I can't afford to cry. I've got a performance tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday, and all I'm asking, Tusker, did you mean it when you said I'd been a good woman to you? Because if so, why did you leave me? Why did you leave me here? I'm frightened to be alone. Though I know it's weak and wrong to be frightened.
And all the same, now until the end, I shall be alone, whatever I'm doing. Here, as I feared, amid the alien corn, walking, sleeping, alone forever and ever, and I can't bear it. I know I mustn't cry, and I must get over it. I don't for the moment see how. So, Tusker, with my eyes closed, I put out my hand to you and beg you to take it. And take me with you. Oh, Tusker, how could you leave me here alone while you yourself go home?